All right, let's dive right in. Welcome back to another explainer. Today, we are decoding something truly massive. We're looking at Nagarjuna's exposition of the noble Dharmadhatu Garbha, and we're going to unlock the secrets of the famous Ye Dharma verse. If you've ever wondered how the cycle of life, suffering, and ultimate liberation actually works on a mechanical level, you are absolutely in the right place. We are going to map out the very architecture of reality today.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the famous Ye Dharma verse, map out the causal chain of life, and then look at reversing the causal chain. After that, we'll discuss the Great Shramana Guide, do a quick student knowledge check, and wrap things up with a summary and some reflections.
Section 1. The famous Ye Dharma verse, the ultimate map of reality.
Before we even read the verse, you kind of have to appreciate the historical gravity of this text. We're talking about an exposition by the great Indian teacher Nagarjuna, which was meticulously translated and preserved by historical heavyweights like the Indian master Janagarbha and the noble Tibetan translator Palachek. They basically made sure this profound knowledge survived with crystal clarity. The verse itself goes like this. Of those dharmas which arise from causes, the Tathāgata has taught the cause, and also their cessation. Thus speaks the great shramana. It might sound brief, but this single ancient statement is literally the key to the entire philosophical framework we're about to explore. It's telling us that everything has a cause, those causes can absolutely be stopped, and there is a specific, enlightened guide who maps it all out for us.
Section 2. The causal chain of life. The forward journey of arising.
So, this is where we get into the exact mechanics of how life and suffering naturally arise. What's really interesting here is how Nagarjuna specifically groups the traditional 12 links of dependent origination. He mathematically chunks them down into 5 distinct root causes. We have ignorance, craving, grasping, volitional formations, and existence. You can think of these 5 as the absolute root triggers. When these 5 are present, they basically set off a massive domino effect that dictates our entire reality.
And the rest of that domino effect? Well, that consists of the 7 resulting dharmas. Those are consciousness, name and form, the 6 sense bases, contact, feeling, birth, and ultimately, aging and death. These 7 are just the unavoidable output of those 5 root causes we just mapped out. So together, these 5 causes and 7 results complete the famous 12-link cycle of interdependent origination. It's a closed, ongoing loop of cause and effect.
Now, this actually presents a pretty radical philosophical stance. Nagarjuna calls this forward-moving chain the direct order, or anuloma. He's emphasizing that this production of life happens completely naturally, entirely on its own. Compare that to a creator-dependent model, one that assumes a top-down reality dictated by an external god or force. Nagarjuna's map is purely mechanical. It's a self-arising production that happens without depending on a creator at all. Cause simply leads to effect, organically.
Section 3. Reversing the causal chain, the path to liberation.
Thankfully, the journey doesn't just end with aging and death. To understand how we actually break and reverse this chain, we need to connect the Ye Dharma verse to the famous 4 noble truths. When the verse mentions the cause of dharmas, that maps perfectly to the truth of origin, those 5 root causes like ignorance and craving. But the true, absolute power of this verse is its focus on the cessation of those dharmas, which maps right to the truth of cessation. Bottom line, if you can stop the origin, you can stop the suffering. The crucial point here is understanding what the text calls the reverse order, or pradiloma. This is the profound realization that when you eliminate those root causes, like when ignorance truly ceases, the resulting volitional formations naturally cease right along with it. If you stop that very first domino from falling, the rest stays standing. Learning to walk backward on this map is exactly how one achieves the complete appeasement of afflictions, liberation, and ultimately, nirvana.
Section 4. The Great Shramana Guide. Who teaches this map?
The verse gives the Buddha 2 very specific titles, and honestly they aren't just polite honorifics. They are literal descriptions of his mastery over this exact causal map. First up, the Buddha is called the Tathāgata. A Tathāgata is someone who is directly awakened to realities exactly as they are, in their true unvarnished state, completely without error. He's the ultimate guide because, well, he doesn't guess. He perceives the precise mechanical nature of these arising and ceasing dharmas, and then he perfectly teaches that true state to others.
The second title is Great Shramana, translated from Mahashramana. And this brilliantly illustrates what it takes to master the mind. Nagarjuna breaks the word right down for us. Great means he is incredibly learned and intensely energetic. In fact, the text even compares his vigor to someone whose head is literally on fire with urgency. It also means he's heroic because he subdues all afflictions. Combine that with shramana, which literally means one who has achieved the appeasement of all evils and afflictions. He teaches the cessation of ignorance, which makes him the ultimate great shramana.
Section 5. Student Knowledge Check. Test your memory of the map.
All right, let's see how well your focused learning is paying off today. Question 1. How does Nagarjuna mathematically divide the 12 links of dependent origination? Is it A, 6 causes, 6 dharmas, B, 5 causes, 7 dharmas, or C, 4 causes, 8 dharmas? Got your answer? The correct one is B, 5 causes and 7 dharmas. Remember that visual chunking technique we talked about earlier? 5 root triggers leading directly to 7 results.
Moving on, question 2. What does the direct order or anulama describe? A. Self-arising production without a creator. B. A top-down reality dictated by a god. Or C. The path of cessation. It is A. The direct order describes that natural self-arising chain of cause and effect, functioning entirely without an external creator.
Let's keep the momentum going here. Question 3. Which noble truth strongly aligns with the reverse order of the causal chain? A. The truth of suffering. B. The truth of origin. Or C. The truth of cessation. The correct answer is C. The truth of cessation. Reversing the map means stopping the causes entirely, which inevitably brings about the cessation of suffering.
Almost there. Question 4. Why is the Buddha specifically called Tathāgata in this text? A. Because he performs wondrous miracles. B. Because he washed away all evils. Or C. Because he awakened to realities as they truly are. The answer is C. Now, while he did wash away evils, Tathāgata specifically points to his objective, completely error-free awakening to the true state of reality.
Final question, number 5. What does the word shramana literally refer to in Nagarjuna's exposition? A. A heroic ascetic. B. The appeasement of evils and afflictions. Or C. A person of intense, fiery energy. It is B. The appeasement of evils and afflictions. Remember, the fiery energy and heroic traits actually belong to the word great or maha. Great job on these, everyone. Your focus is definitely shining through.
Section 6. Summary and Daily Reflections. Integrating the Teachings.
Look, it is absolutely fantastic to learn this abstract philosophy, but it's even better when we can easily digest it and use it. Here's a quick cheat sheet that cleanly organizes the core of Nagarjuna's map. We've got the direct order, showing the natural arising of suffering, the reverse order, showing the path to liberation through cessation, the 5 root causes setting off the chain, and the 7 resulting dharmas representing the lived experience of that chain. It really is a brilliantly elegant system, so feel free to take a screenshot of this for a quick revision later.
To wrap things up, I want to leave you with a slightly provocative daily reflection to take off the screen and into your actual life. Ask yourself today, what is one cause, maybe a sudden moment of craving or some mental grasping, that I can observe arising in my own life right now? And more importantly, how can I actually practice its cessation? Don't just study the map, try actually walking it backwards yourself. Challenge yourself to become your own great shramana today by watching your own causal chains. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the Dharmaverse. Keep learning, keep questioning. I'll catch you in the next explainer.